Hi, Plato here. That's Plato. One name, very hip. Back in 429 BC, I was a great teacher. My best student, Aristotle. Smart kid. I started schools. Got a test? Blame me. You know, it's not easy being a teacher. The work never ends. So listen to your teachers and be somebody. Maybe not Aristotle, but somebody.
We're taking it back old school here in Marietta, home to the Marietta Blue Devils. This is game number 6 here. Lemon Street Classic, brought to you by Scream City, the best quality in town. Maury Bland here alongside my partner in crime, Bryce Williams, and today's matchup for the last time in the afternoon here is a big game for us, Norcross and Evans. But Bryce, when you look at Norcross, their leading scorer, Harris, is a dog.
Yeah, he's had some Division I offers. He's a high-profile player, shooting guard that can get a bucket off the bounce, and he has a nice shot. He can shoot the three, pull-up jumper, athletic, and transition. He can get up. This is opportunity for Evans to see what they're made of, coming off a big win against Lanier High School.
And when you look at Evans, you can't help but to notice Mency, who put up 20 points last game for sure.
Yeah, and he's a left-handed crafty guard here, rocking the red Jordan 11s. But yeah, he's a crafty left-handed guard that can shoot the three, but likes to get to the cup and distribute. This is a good matchup for him to see what he can do against Norcross. Also for Evans, they have number 4, Rashad King, correct, who's 6'6", guard that we should keep an eye on. And this young fella, number 2, Brazen James, who just knocked down a three, had a big game against Lanier. College coaches are probably going to want to pay attention to this highly talented Evans High School team, because they got some sleepers in this group.
And we're certainly excited about the matchup, as it is Evans and Norcross. As we take a look here, the first score for the game of Norcross.
Number 10, I believe his name is Jakai Howard. I think he picked up an offer recently from University of Florida. Long, wiry kid, athletic. Looks like he's about 6'5", 6'6".
And Norcross and Evans here battling out, as Evans will be dressed in all white with yellow trim down the side and blue and yellow mixture in a number. And their starters, as you see them here so far, has been James, Mency, Story, Steven.
The matchup we probably want to watch
King
is Mency and Johnson, that point guard matchup. That's the one that we're going to want to see. And we also want to see if Norcross is going to allow these guys to get a lot of open looks. Right now, Evans is in a 1-4 high set, looking to kind of come off some screens and see what they can get. And these guys are not shy from three. They're going to let it fly, and they all can shoot.
And that Story there with the attempt from downtown. And Norcross, as you see them, will wear blue top and bottom. As Yet takes the shot for 3, no good there. And their starters are Johnson, Harris, Howard, Yet, and Flag here tonight for them. And Mency comes up with it again. Thinks about it. Pitches it out to Steven. Steven back to Mency. Mency throws it up, no good there. And Flag pulls it down as Harris takes the shot from 3, and it's off the back rim. Snatched down by Steven with the one hand.
And let's see if both teams can settle down here and settle in and get a little rhythm.
It's Evans and Norcross. battling it out here. Steven, downtown, in and out, off the back rim. On the left side of the rim and into the hands of Norcross now. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Evans will keep it. Apologize there.
Looks like Norcross is on a man-to-man defense on the inbounds play.
King sets up the offense here in this socially distanced Lemon Street Basketball Classic here. Story comes up short. And Johnson leads the offense across center court.
Norcross hasn't been able to get into a rhythm on offense yet, but you can tell that they read their scouting report and they watch their film because they're not giving up any uncontested shots on defense. They've just got to settle in on offense and see if they can get some things going. And this is what we were talking about in the pre-show is if Evans is going to be able to feel comfortable with this pressure that Norcross is going to have, and are they ready for this level of competition?
Harris brings it across center court, who's the leading scorer for this Norcross ball squad. He'll take the shot from deep and swings it right in.
And it was only a matter of time before Harris got comfortable. And he's a savvy guard. He's been playing at this high level for a long time. Played for the Georgia Stars, EYBL for a number of years. So he's used to playing against the best talent in the country.
Steven able to swing it back in while Yet answers back, and Yet signed a scholarship with DePaul, and so we'll get a chance to see him continue to play his college career at DePaul, which is certainly known for its basketball program.
Definitely a really good Big East basketball program, and he just showed why he's going there with that nice 15-footer, and then he follows it up with the rebound.
Mincy swims through traffic, gains back control of the ball. Outside the key. And that Story off the back rim and into the hands of Norcross as Howard, the second leading scorer of the team, gets a little happy there, not able to capitalize in the fast transition.
And Evans looks a little hesitant on offense, especially in transition or those loose balls. They're kind of looking for Mincy to create for them. We'll see if they can settle in and run some sets and get some transition.
Punches the ball out, and he's going back fast. Not able to get it in. Johnson snags it down, and Norcross bench celebrates with a clap.
I'm sure Mincy would like to have that one back where he could finish that easy bucket, that two-pointer. As he says, my bad. Let's see if he gets it back on defense.
Norcross and Evans battling out here in the Lemon Street Classic in Marietta's high school gymnasium. As Harris is being pressured and in deep trouble. Johnson takes the distance, and it goes around and down, counted for three.
And Norcross is starting to get comfortable now on both ends of the court. They're clapping, they're engaged, they're moving that ball around. And Johnson steps into a three, knocks it down, which he's very capable of doing. Let's see if Evans has some composure. This is a big game for Rashad King to see how he stacks up against these Division I guards.
And Mincy there to swim his way through pressure and finishes it off. It's 10-7, Norcross and Evans here in the first quarter. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain. Harris gets it to go in for three.
That shooter's touch, and Evans is sitting in the zone, but Norcross is patient enough to move that ball around and swing it around and hit that corner. And Harris knocks it down. He steps into a wide open three. He's probably going to make that shot most of the time.
Certainly looks like he doesn't have to get loosen up for that.
And Evans is a little late on the closeout. If they want to stay in that zone, they're going to have to get out there a little sooner. Otherwise, they're going those are easy shots for Harris.
And Evans
And
now.
they got away with the backcourt violation, maybe not, because he caught it in the air. He didn't catch the ball on the backside first. So
James taking it from downtown, and it bounces off the rim and into the hands of Northcross as Johnson runs the baseline. Excuse me there. Howard sinks it in for three. The second leading scorer of this Northcross team. We knew for sure we were going to see a game today, Bryce.
yeah, now athletic wing. Look how long his arms are. He's all over the place, and now he's showing us his repertoire on offense. He's got game, and you see why he has that big time offer. So again, another game here at Lemon Street Classic where we see more players that could go to the SEC or that will end up in the SEC with offers. And he's young.
Story there with the chance there, and he was able to sink his three. Howard tries to sink it, and he does as he answered back. And looks like we're having a three-point clinic put on by these two great teams, Evans and Northcross.
Yep. And Howard and Harris, the big two, are performing at a high level right now.
Story hands it off to King, and King gets three.
This is a good opportunity for King to show how good he is. He's a 6'6" guard for Evans. He's smooth in transition, highly skilled, can shoot the ball, and he steps into a three.
Yeah.
And almost, it might be NBA range because he's not even anywhere close to the line. So, in rhythm, not forced. Nice stroke for Evans.
It's Northcross and Evans, the Lemon Street Classic. Inside the 30-second mark, countdown, 19-13 here so far.
And a really good, entertaining first quarter. It took a minute for them to find that rhythm. But now we see how this game is going to be. They're going to get up and down, and they're going to shoot that rock. And we'll see what Evans can do to close out this quarter and start the second quarter.
Inside the 10-second mark, King with the ball now, trying to do work. Passes it down to Jones, and he puts a little nice soft touch for two. And that concludes the first quarter, 15-19. But look, Bryce, let's take a look at it here again.
Yeah, nice pick and roll. And he finds him, and in an easy finish, he sets him up. And King knows that he's going to have help because he just knocked down the three. They try to hedge. They're a little bit slow on that recovery, and they get an easy play. Nice drop off for the assist. That's two back-to-back plays where you see King has he's affected the offense positively. So that's something, again, that college coaches are going to take note of, and he's got a nice game to him.
19 Northcross, 15 Evans. We'll be right back with the second quarter action. Maury Bland here alongside Bryce Williams, who is no rookie to the great sport of basketball. Evans and Northcross 19-15 with the start of the second quarter here inside Marietta Gymnasium. It is the Lemon Street Classic. Certainly gets stuck there as it's been going on for years now, but certainly excited to see a great matchup between these two teams as Mency answers yet again, who is a big-time player for this Evans team, putting up 20 points last game for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of these kids actually see each other on the AAU circuit too. They're familiar faces. You know, they've played against each other. They know their tendencies. So this is not necessarily a game where, you know, they haven't seen Mency over the last, 3 or 4 years and vice versa, and seen Harris. Like these guys are familiar with each other. So they know their tendencies, and it's gonna come down to coaching. It's gonna come down to shot selection, getting stops. Brazen James, who's at the free throw line right now, was very impressive in the win over Lanier, and he's the guy that we're having the opportunity to see that maybe we might not have seen if it wasn't for this showcase.
James there, as you said, at the line, finishes it up. Johnson brings it across center court for Northcross. Johnson and Harris tandem so far.
And Evans is sitting in the 2-3. Little bit of a 2-1-2 if they have somebody at high post. And I like the strategy because you can save your legs on defense. You stay in the game, and you control the tempo. You don't allow Norcross to get out in transition. And see, if they miss that free throw like they did, it's a really good foul. You use a good foul.
Howard now at the line. No look on the first attempt, not enough. And not enough on the second, as it is off the back rim and in the hands of Evans. And Evans running a fast-paced offense here as Mency stands outside the arc and throws it down to James.
And that's what he does. He gets his feet square to the basket, and he can shoot the rock.
As you stated earlier, shooters shoot. It's Norcross and Evans, 21-22. And Evans back on the offensive end. Story leading the hill. Handing off to King. King from the right corner, and it's good.
Good drive and kick. Really unselfish play by Evans. And you can see why this group is talented, and we've been talking about them so much as of late. They have a group of players in their core that are high IQ, hard nose, and they can shoot the rock.
Certainly the game that we've been waiting for, as it's our 6th game of the evening, and certainly will be our last as we finish up the Lemon Street Classic. And there it is again.
And this is a game where you keep shooting the ball like that, you're going to get some offers.
As King there now making some noise, and he gets warmed up, and Foster with the nice little pump fake, and he gets the chance to make the three-point play here as it is counted. And let's take a look at this again here.
Yeah, I'm sure we didn't have him in the scouting report, but he's on the book early with a nice offensive rebound and a putback and an and one. And let's see if we
I'm
can.
laughing, Bryce, because we didn't have him on the scouting report. There's a great look at Foster finishing at the line.
Yep.
Evans back at it again on the offensive end. Mency to Story. Story drives it to the hole. Unfortunate there. Back to Norcross. Johnson in trouble.
One thing you want to do, or one thing you don't want to do as a point guard or a guard in general, is to leave your feet on that pass. And he kind of got in trouble because he left his feet and he didn't have anybody to pass to. Luckily, he got bailed out, and it went out on Evans. But he got away with one right there.
Norcross inbounds it in. That's Johnson. Johnson to Howard. Bond to Howard now. Harris almost losing his balance. Possibly getting called for travel there. And Bond.
And Evans has stayed true, and they stayed in that zone. And right now, I don't blame them because it's slowing Norcross down. They can control the pace. Now, if Norcross starts to extend that zone and they start hitting some threes, you might have to think about making an adjustment. But right now, it's working.
As Bond there slowly minimized the lead that Evans has, 28-24. And Bond's good on both of those. It's 20-25 now here, halfway in the second quarter. And I'm telling you, Bryce, we have seen some good-looking basketball so far.
Yes, this is high-level basketball by both teams. They're not being rushed into anything. Defensively, you really have to earn your stops. You have to respect your offensive, the guy that you're guarding, and you have to play him straight up. And these guys are playing a high-level basketball game right now. If you're watching online.
Watching online by SUV TV, bringing you quality broadcasts, exposing players and coaches and programs all across the country. But for now, it's Evans and Norcross here in the Lemon Street Classic inside the Marietta Gymnasium.
I don't think that Evans is going to go very deep on their bench tonight. We might see a very short rotation just because They're going to keep those guys on the floor that have that chemistry and that experience and try to get this W against a tough Norcross team.
Certainly there's no need to, Bryce, when you look at what they've been able to do so far in the start of the game. Howard for Norcross hands it off to Johnson. Johnson sets up the offense. Howard taking a shot from the left corner. No good there. Story brings it down for Evans. Story pitches it out to Mincy. Mincy to King, and it's a little too short there. Harris back on the offensive end for Norcross. Johnson in trouble. Foster to Harris. Harris with the nice jumper.
Norcross stays true to their man-to-man defense, man-to-man principles. They're gonna work. They're not gonna give you anything open. King runs a UCLA cut on the backdoor, kicks it out to Brazen James, and that's his shot. He's not gonna miss that. He's making a name for himself this weekend. His play he's been one of the best guys here.
Norcross, that's Johnson for three.
Both teams are in a rhythm offensively. Some really good basketball on both teams.
Story passes it out to Mincy. Mincy pulls out of it and sets up the offense. Mincy sees the open lane, swims right through it.
And let's see how Evans closes out the half against Norcross. That's going to be a big sign of how that third quarter will be played, depending on how they finish this next 2.5 minutes.
Mincy comes up short with a little trouble. Johnson for Norcross brings it down, no good to go there, and it's going back and forth so far. Evans and Norcross battling out here. Story on the right side of your screen now. Mincy slows the offense down.
And we're seeing a Rashad King, that is much more aggressive tonight than he was on game one or game night one. He's attacking. He's looking for his shot a lot more. Against Lanier, he was looking to get his team involved. So he's being aggressive tonight. He's looking to get on that board and show that he's one of the best scorers on the floor. That was a nice set to free him open in the corner off the staggered screen.
Johnson to Harris. Johnson to try his luck from deep, and it's good. 33-31, Evans and Norcross here. 1 minute and 40 seconds remain in the first half in the Lemon Street Classic inside the Marietta Gymnasium.
And we're seeing Rashad King, who's looks like he's about 6'5", 6'6", run the one, which might be a mismatch for Evans. He's a very smooth guard. So he's running the show for Evans right now, as Mincy is getting the rest.
King inbounds it in to Story. King takes the three. Back out to Brown. Resetting this offense here on the Evans end.
And Norcross is, again, staying true to that man-to-man and their man-to-man principles. They're in help side. Their offhand or off guard is in help side, and they're working together.
Tip there on his shot, and Yat not fast enough to get there, and he comes up short. Brown hands it over to Story. Story back over to King. King from distance, and he's going to go to the line here for that one.
And we've seen a number of guys get fouled today beyond the three-point line, and that's one rule that you never want to do is foul that shooter. And he definitely got a piece of that elbow and that chest.
King an original starter for the Evans squad. Able to get the first one in. Easy. Nice soft touch here. 33-32. Evans and Northcross. In and out there.
Really good pace to this game for both schools. Not being rattled, sticking to what you know and running your sets, sticking to your defense and the game plan. Really, really, really high level basketball game for Northcross and Evans to close out the second quarter.
It's Evans and Northcross inside the 50-second mark. Tied up here, 33.
Looked like it was a foul on James on the reach around. It wasn't on the big boy.
Howard finishing it at the line.
If I'm Evans, I want to make sure I box out right here, get this rebound, and run something good. Get a good shot going into halftime. Let's see if we can get some ball movement, some screens. And it looks like they're into a flex offense for Evans. A little bit of a continuity, and they're patient. And they get a backdoor screen, backdoor cut for a good look. Two good follows, just come up short to get the rebound back.
Evans gets it back.
Tough finish and tough offensive rebounds. Evans really attacked that glass right there. They wanted to score that one.
Inside the 4-second mark here, the second quarter. It's Northcross and Evans! As that's a great finish by Yet. Buzzer beater there. A lot of momentum going into the locker room for Northcross on that end. Look at it here, man. Wow.
That was pretty.
Nice finish.
And that kind of hurts Evans a little bit, their momentum, because if you're Evans, you want to be leading this game going into halftime just for your mental sake of your kids who have less experience playing on this level. But they still played a really solid half. I would think that they're going to make some adjustments. They might turn that pressure up eventually in that second half and that third quarter. Mincy will come back in the game, and we'll see a lot more, probably a faster game. But 35-37, it's been really entertaining, and both teams haven't really made too many mistakes.
That'll do it here for us in the first half. It's Northcross and Evans right here in the Lemon Street Classic inside Marietta's High School Gymnasium. We'll be right back. This is SUV TV, game number 6.
Blackboards? Nope. Now it's whiteboards. Pencils? Gone. We've got keyboards. Books? Heck no. We've got tablets. But one thing we can never replace is a great teacher. Superior Plumbing honors America's teacher.
Hey, this is John Sylvie from Zaxby's at 591 South Marietta Parkway. We're a huge supporter of Marietta basketball, and we are honored to support and sponsor the Lemon Street Classic basketball tournament this year. We look forward to seeing you in the store, and thank you for your support. Mask up, Marietta.
Hi, Plato here. That's Plato. One name, very hip. Back in 429 BC, I was a great teacher. My best student, Aristotle. Smart kid. I started schools. Got a test? Blame me. You know, it's not easy being a teacher. The work never ends. So listen to your teachers and be somebody. Maybe not Aristotle, but somebody.
To Sarah Brown with SUV TV at the CP3 Rising Stars Camp.
SUV TV's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards Collegiate Decision, presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUV TV.
SUV TV brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUV TV, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality, nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member that lives in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUV TV has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think is always interesting.
Down.
Oh, yes, sir. It brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Dayton Avian Williamson
at the buzzer.
That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back here to Marietta High School, home of the Lemon Street Classic. This is game number 6 for us, the last one of the evening. Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy Monday to you as we start the second half. North Cross and Evans here, 35-37. Marbland, Bryce Williams with your SUV-TV call. Bryce, what do you say so far?
I say it's an evenly matched game. Both sides are being patient on offense. Defensively, they're also making the offensive team work. So whoever makes the most mistakes is probably going to end up losing this game, and whoever makes the most shots is probably going to win this game. It's going to come down to the last possession, I would think. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an overtime either. But all in all, both sides have been playing really good basketball.
You look at Evans, and Evans is a squad that is certainly not a squad you want to count out for sure, but let's talk about King on the Evans side. He's come out, and I think he is somewhat shocked us, to say the least.
Yeah, and he's a 6'6" combo guard that's taken the majority of the load for Evans at the point guard position. And he's done a good job getting to the cup. And usually we see Mincy bring it up as he's doing now. But Rashard King, we're going to have to continue to see him hit those open threes and create off the dribble.
The sophomore Johnson for North Cross has made some noise fairly well too, Brian.
Yeah, he's knocking out his open threes. He's a savvy point guard, and he's been here before.
Evans from deep, that's James again.
And this is my favorite player from the weekend, Brazen James. He's made a name for himself. I think everybody in the state's going to know who this kid is after this tournament at Lemon Street.
Johnson for North Cross right there on your screen with the ball. And it's just a sophomore here, and certainly is not playing like he's a sophomore for this North Cross squad. We're here inside Marietta Gymnasium, socially distanced basketball game, and certainly everyone has their mask on, covering their face in some sort, and Mincy takes it from downtown. Bingo!
And it was only a matter of time before Mincy knocked that three down. And as I said before the game started, it's going to be a battle between Mincy and Johnson to see that point guard position, to see who's going to win that matchup. And right now it's pretty evenly matched.
North Cross and Evans battling out here. So we look at this by Mincy.
Mincy trails the play, steps into a three, walks into it. That's almost like a free throw for him. He's going to make that 90% of the time.
And
uncontested shot.
That's exactly right. Has flags there now at the line, shooting two.
I haven't seen much change in strategy for either team. This is kind of like a boxing match when you wait to see what your opponent's going to do. Both teams seem like they're sticking to their strategy. Nobody came out in any different types of presses or zones. Both teams are just playing straight up, man-to-man basketball, help side, principles, and sticking with what they know.
And that's Evans. That's Story, the big guy for the Evans squad. And certainly this Evans team, as we're constantly playing replays of scoring, and this has been a scoring machine team when you talk about Evans for sure, Bryce.
Yeah, and they can do it from different angles. They have Brazen James. They can go get a bucket from Mincy, and they can get a bucket from King. They have different guys on the floor that can contribute to their offense.
We want to apologize if we sound like we're muffled. That's because we have our mask on and we're practicing somewhat socially distanced. Maury Blend here, Bryce Williams, and Bryce is certainly not a stranger to the great game of basketball. And Bryce, I know you've watched a lot of these guys here on the court grow up. I know you have an AAU basketball team that you happen to be a part of, and it's certainly refreshing to see these guys go from knee-high all the way over to your head for sure.
Yeah, and I've seen Jaden Harris for a number of years. He's been playing with the Georgia Stars on the EYBL circuit. He's been pretty successful, and he's added a number of Division I offers. And it sounds like he might end up on the West Coast. We'll see.
And Harris, the leading scorer for this North Cross squad, is at the line shooting two as it is. Bounces in, but yet it counts for sure. 41-42 third quarter here. Mency.
Looks like Norcross goes to a sort of matchup zone and maybe a 2-3, a little bit of a 3-2 principles. Little switch up to see if they can get some.
Flag wipes the backboard clean for Norcross. Back into their hands. Harris can't quite get it to go in as it's off the back rim. Leading scorer, that's a great look at him there. Who has had his fair share of 3 points tonight. 43-41 here, Norcross and Evans, the third quarter.
And we've seen Norcross come out of the timeout in the half, slice that zone up a little bit and start to try to get in the gaps and get to the lane and get to the free throw line.
And Harris finishes up strong at the line. Mency brings it across center court for Evans. Evans is dressed in all white and Norcross in solid blue, tops and bottom. Mency takes the shot, jumper from the left corner, short. Harris trying to get it to Howard.
If Norcross gets another bucket, I was going to say, if Norcross gets another bucket here, we probably see a timeout from Evans. And before that even happens, we see a timeout, which is probably a good idea because you don't want them to score on the inbounds play and get an easy bucket. So coach is probably setting up his defense right now for Norcross's inbounds play to prevent any entry passes for a layup or any wide open corner threes that Norcross might have in store. So good timeout for Evans.
Certainly see a timeout there as both teams are trying to regroup, and that's a great look at Evans there. 45-41, 4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's been a fair ball game for sure, and certainly neither team has taken off quite yet, but both teams are battling out, and you seem to think, Bryce, that if they continue to play defense, Evans does, you think they'll have a great shot at.
Yeah, I mean, in any game, you want to try to keep it under 5, especially if you're the underdog. So right now, I would consider them the underdog. And if they keep it under 4 or 5 points going into the fourth quarter, they're in a good spot to steal a win. I would like to see them run something on offense in the next couple possessions and try to get a good look or easy layup, something going to the basket. Norcross is steady in their offense, and they're not going to get rattled. So you've got to be able to match that and get a bucket.
Marietta Gymnasium. It's Evans and Norcross. The Lemon Street Classic. And Norcross flag goes to the line. And there he is there.
And Norcross has been very aggressive in the last 2 minutes to get into the free throw line and trying to extend that lead the old-fashioned way. 1 point at a time. And they're knocking their free throws down. So Evans is going to have to defend without fouling these guys. Otherwise, that lead is going to increase.
46-41. We have not seen a big lead by neither team. Certainly has been walking a tightrope here. Two solid teams battling out here the right way on the court. The Lemon Street Classic inside Marietta's Gymnasium. 47-41, third quarter, 4 minutes to go as Mency takes the shot from 3, and he is red hot.
And that's good zone offense. They were patient. He slid over in the gap in the 1-3-1 and found an open look.
Norcross swims their way through as Howard puts it back with the fade.
Norcross in that 1-3-1 or that 3-2 right now, rotating as a unit. Let's see if Evans can find the gaps in the zone or have a zone buster. They're shooting the 3 pretty well. And let's see.
Evans here on the offensive end. That's Mincy to King, and it continues to go back and forth as Mincy sees the open lane and can't get it to go in. Northcross brings it down. That's Harris. Harris unable to get it in there, and Howard with the nice finish. Mincy from deep, and the fire continues to get hotter. 51-47, third quarter. 2 minutes and 50 seconds ago.
And Evans is in a 2-3, and that adjustment creates a turnover, which is what they were looking for.
As we look at it once again,
Mincy has been a player that has he's shown that he's ready for this stage. Last game he went for 20, and it looks like he might be on the way to another big game for Evans. The good thing about Evans is they're really patient in his zone. They're flashing somebody to the high post in the corner, and Rashad King knocks down the three.
Rashad King on the three-point campaign there, and it's good. That's Northcross. Johnson over to Yat.
Evans in transition, secondary break, and they slow it down and they rotate across the perimeter.
And Howard says, get that out of here. 51-50.
Evans has been able to chip away at that lead, that 5-point lead, and cut it to 1. They're playing really well as a unit. They're not being rattled. They haven't turned the ball over.
Evans on the offensive end. Mincy to King. King can't quite get it. Northcross back on the offensive end. Harris is going to try his luck. Off the left side of the rim, he gets his own rebound and drives it. And unable to finish at the hole. Yak bats it out. Harris.
Good pass.
Underneath to Howard on the baseline.
We've had some back and forth in the last 45 seconds for both teams. Both teams missed on some opportunities to convert some easy layups. Could be a little fatigue setting in. Let's see how these teams close out the third quarter. Evans sitting in the 2-3 defense.
Johnson to Harris again. Harris finds Howard. And he gets it in anyways, in spite of it being blocked here. 50-53, third quarter. 1 minute here remaining in the third quarter. Evans with the ball now. Mincy tries to fade out, comes up short, and King uses the backboard and finishes it off.
And Rashad King has come up big. Every time his team needed a bucket, he's gotten it for him. And he might have another one with the Showtime finish. Let's see what he can do here. Yes, with the left hand.
King slam dunks it inside the 30-second mark. For a minute, it seemed like it was getting somewhat flat. But Evans has found a new energy. 54-53 inside the third quarter. 20 seconds remain.
I think they'll go for the last shot. And they'll take the lead going into the fourth quarter.
Inside the 10-second mark. Evans swimming his way through the hole. That's Steven. Evans, one last time. That's King. Off the rim, trying to make something happen. But look at it here, Bryce. This is a nice steal by the Evans crew.
And a nice finish, one-handed dunk, showing his versatility. Good deflection to start off the transition bucket as well. That's going to get some people's attention right there.
It's Evans and Norcross inside Marietta's gymnasium. This is game number 6. We'll be right back on SUV TV.
Blackboards? Nope. Now it's whiteboards. Pencils? Gone. We've got keyboards. Books? Heck no. We've got tablets. But one thing we can never replace is a great teacher. Superior Plumbing honors America's teachers.
Welcome back to game number 6 inside Marietta's high school gymnasium. It's Evans and Norcross battling out one last time before we call it an afternoon. 54-53, the start of the fourth quarter. Mari Bland here, Bryce Williams. And Bryce, to start the fourth quarter, what are you telling both teams here?
I think both teams got to stick to what you know. I think they're going to be a little bit more scrappy. I think both teams are going to try to dig in defensively and get some turnovers and see if you can get that momentum shift going into the fourth quarter. I think Evans is going to want to keep continuing to move that ball around and get good shots and let the game come to him.
And Evans, that's James. He was fairly quiet in the third quarter, but come out the third quarter swinging in the fourth quarter here to begin it. And early here with 7 minutes and 20-something seconds remaining in this game, it's Evans and Norcross. Evans wearing all white, and Norcross in navy blue, solid.
If Evans goes on a nice little run here, you might see Norcross get a little worried.
Mincy from downtown. Harris leads the way for Norcross.
All right, Evans sits in the 2-3 zone. They're going to see what kind of offense Norcross has, and Norcross has been pretty patient so far. Might be the first time in the game they've been down by 3. So now the pressure's on them to knock a bucket, get a bucket.
Johnson takes the bucket. Can't get it to go in. Pitches it out to Steven. Steven second guessed that attempt from the left corner. And Steven goes to the line.
Not a name we mentioned yet today, but that was a nice move to get to the basket and step around the defender.
Steven with a little nice technique there.
Nice form at the free throw line, took his time.
(57-53). Evans and Norcross, 6 minutes and 16 seconds.
And now if you're Norcross, you got to run your best set and get a good look and try to get a bucket.
Norcross in trouble.
And there's no harm on that foul because, as we said earlier, the foul count resets at each quarter. So Evans can really press up and be aggressive and try to create some turnovers and see if they can get some easy transition buckets. So that doesn't hurt them. And Norcross has to be able to handle this pressure. And the 2-3 zone has slowed them down, and they haven't been able to get to the free throw line in a while or get an open look. Let's see what they can do.
Mari Bland here, Bryce Williams with your SUV TV call. And Bryce, you talked about the fouls resetting at the beginning of the quarter, and I know you're not a big fan of it, but
yeah, I'm weighing. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out if it's needed or where they got it from. So I personally prefer once it gets to 1-1 on that 7th foul that the count doesn't reset. But for a team like Evans that wants to come in here and steal a victory, they can be scrappy and press. It helps them because that foul count resets. So they don't have to worry about fouling for a whole quarter. They can play defense. And offense right now, they're running their set, their continuity offense. They're screening down, and they're being patient. They're not going to rush right now. There's no shot clock. They're going to wait till they get a good look. And they're taking some time off the clock, which I don't blame them. They catch him slipping, and Rashard King on the backdoor UCLA cut, and he gets the and one. Rashard King is showing that he's one of the best players on the floor tonight.
Let's take a look at it once again here as King, nice, uses the backboard there. And he making a trip to the line here. 4 minutes and 58 seconds, 53-59, Norcross and Evans battling out here in the Lemon Street Classic.
And Norcross might want to regroup, take a second, maybe call a timeout and see if you can get your shooters in position, maybe put somebody at the high post and see if you can get a good look for a bucket. And this is the biggest lead of the game, especially for Evans. That momentum is starting to shift, and their confidence is kind of going through the roof right now. So Norcross is going to need to get something quickly.
King interrupts it, gets it back. Evans doing their thing. Mincy gets freed up, uses the backboard. James saves the day, punches it out to King. Mincy for three, and it's good!
That's a big-time shot for a player that he's emerged this weekend.
And Mincy, yet again, showing his value to this Evans offense, and his whole entire bench erupts up and celebrating and congratulating him for what he did there.
And this was a nice driving kick, and he got his feet under him. He squared up, and he knocked the three down. And I hope he replays this when he goes home, when he posts on his Twitter page, because that was a nice shot.
Mincy says he wants more and also hopes to get the win. Evans, they're feeling good. 63, Norcross, 53.
Big
4
test.
minutes and 19 seconds to go.
Big test for Norcross, down 10, to see how they bounce back here and see if they can go on a run themselves and cut this lead to 4 or 6 points and get a bucket. They haven't scored in nearly 4 or 5 minutes, really, since the quarter started. So let's see what they can do. They're going to have to get it going quickly because Evans they feeling themselves right now, and they want to keep getting these transition buckets.
As you saw Mincy walking through your screen there, clapping his hands. He wants to be fed here. We'll see, will they feed him here in the last few minutes of this fourth quarter. 53-63, 4 minutes remain, and Norcross comes out the gate.
And that was a big bucket as Evans were trapping in the half court, and they split the trap and found the open man. So good, big needed bucket for Norcross.
Evans on the offensive end. That's James, who's been fairly quiet in the second half.
Looks like Norcross switched to their man-to-man defense. Off 1 foot. That's the type of shot that Norcross wanted. And let's see if they can finish in transition. And
Howard struggling along. And Harris putting it back. And Harris will go to the line there for Norcross.
now, if you're Evans and it's 3 minutes and some change on the clock, you're going to have to play smart here. You're going to have to take good shots, and you got to get back to running your offense and see if you can take some time off that clock. You don't want to extend this game and allow Norcross more possessions. You want to limit their possessions so they can't close the lead. So if you're Evans, you want to cross that timeline and get into your offense and see if you can get those easy layups, those and ones, and those wide open shots. You don't want to force anything. There's no shot clock.
Norcross and Evans as Harris finishes up there.
All right, Norcross back to their man-to-man defense. And if you're on ball, you're going to have to press up and try to get a count. You want to stay on ball as Evans is in this 1-4 low, and they're running this flex offense. If you're on ball, you've got to get up and try to get that 5-second violation.
Mincy feeds it to King, and Mincy drives it to the hole.
I thought King was going to pull up for that 15-footer and knock it down, but he drops it off to his teammate. And here's where they're going to have to handle the pressure for this last 2 minutes and some change. And the big fella almost turns it over.
Comes up short. And Norcross celebrates.
Now, if you're Evans on the offensive end, you want to get into your stuff quickly. And if you have a lane to drive to the basket and create, you want to try to get that lane. Let's see what Norcross is going to do here. They need another bucket. Plenty of time.
Norcross and Evans. Tempers are starting to flare slightly. 57-63. It's coming down to the wire.
This is a good matchup right now. This point guard, between these two point guards, this is a really good matchup. And it seems like Mincy has gotten the better of Johnson in the second half. But it's not over. Let's see as Johnson creates. And Norcross is moving that ball.
Johnson off to Harris, and Harris gets called for travel. 57-63 here. And Mitchell checks into the game for the first time tonight. 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Both coaches have coached their squads respectively hard.
And this is Mincy's opportunity to show what winning point guards do. You got to run your team and close that game out. And that should be a turnover, and it is.
Turnover created by Norcross there. Certainly what they need at this moment. 63-57. Evans leads Norcross.
Looks like Evans is in their man-to-man as well. And I'm surprised that wasn't a moving screen. He gets away with it. But Norcross isn't able to convert.
Howard trying to get it in for the third attempt, and he gets it there. It took 3 tries, but yet it counted. 63-59, and Howard is starting to feel good. He feels that second win.
Howard relentless off the glass, just wouldn't give up, kept working, and his team needed that bucket. And let's see what Evans has, and Evans doesn't have to force it. They really don't have to shoot a shot right now. They can come and make Norcross play defense and try to add up these fouls and get to the free throw line. Eventually, Norcross is going to have to foul because there's no shot clock.
Story
timeout,
for the
Evans.
Evans team, as they call a timeout. Let's take a timeout with them with 1 minute and 19 seconds. Listen, Bryce, we've got to step away and catch our breath. It's getting hot in here. Welcome back to Marietta High School. Maury Bland here, Bryce Williams with your SUV TV call. It's a battle going on here in the Lemon Street Classic in Marietta's gymnasium. It's Evans and Norcross, 63-59. Can Norcross make a run at it? Bryce, we'll see.
And Evans is stacked in the inbounds play to inbound it. This is going to tell a lot about Evans' composure under a minute. One bucket might do it. A couple free throws might do it. Let's see what they do. Mincy is probing and brings it back. It looks like Norcross is kind of in a matchup zone. but they're going to have to get up and try to get a count.
Time is ticking. Inside the 50-second mark. Evans, Norcross, King, out to Story. Story slowing things down. Mency gets it. Been guarded by Mitchell.
And Norcross let about 40 seconds go off that clock, and they still only have 2 team fouls. So I would think that Evans is going to continue to dribble this time off if they don't foul.
38 seconds remain on the clock. The fourth quarter. It's Evans and Norcross battling it out here one last time, making their campaign and trying to get this win.
And that's the 4th team foul. They're going to have to do it 2 more times. And they're going to and their hope is that Evans goes to the free throw line and comes up empty on that 1-and-1, or they get a turnover on this inbounds pass. We'll see.
And Mency's fouled by Mitchell.
And that's a 15 foul, so 1 more will put them in the 1-and-1. If I'm Norcross, I probably want to deny the point guard, Mency, and King, and see if I can put the ball in the hands of one of the other guards and hope that they come up empty on that 1-and-1 possession. It's been a really good 4th quarter for Evans, as they've had the momentum and they got some transition buckets, and Rashard King has really turned it up for them and helped them get this lead.
33 seconds here, 63-59. Evans and Norcross doing their work here. They have 1 more shot at it with just 33 seconds, not a lot of time to work with. Can Norcross make a run at it? We'll see. As Norcross and Evans in the fast break here.
It looks like Evans sets up in a stack across the 3-point line, looking for a deep pass. They get the ball to their leader. And Evans will go to the free throw line. Let's see if he can knock down these free throws. If he knocks these down, it's going to be tough for Norcross to secure the victory here.
And King goes to the line for Evans. Evans getting a chance to sprinkle some extra salt on the top of this. 63-59. 31.6 seconds remain. And he's good there on the first shot. Can Evans do it again for the second time? At the line. And he gets it the second time, 65-59, and Bryce is starting to come down in the wire as Norcross and Evans battling out. And Flags takes the shot from deep, and no good there. Back into the hands of Johnson, and Johnson's able to use the backboard there, the leading scorer on the team. And Norcross takes us a timeout. Bryce, you're looking at a 65-61 score, 13 seconds in the fourth quarter. What do you think? What do you do? What's your plan? You got 1 more shot at it.
Yeah, if you're Norcross, you want to deny Rashard King and hope that somebody else catches the ball. So you want to deny him all out and put somebody else on the free throw line and hope that they miss. If they do miss, you need to hurry up and get across half court and try to get to the basket for a 2-point play or a +1 and do the same thing over again. And if you take a 3 and you miss, that's probably going to be the game.
We'll see. 13 seconds, 65-61. Can Evans seal the deal against Norcross? And they immediately give it back to Mency, and of course Mency's being fouled. Certainly,
this is probably what Norcross wanted to do, which was foul somebody else and see if they can knock down some free throws. It's not over yet.
And there's Mincy. Great look at Mincy with those shining red shoes there he has on. Certainly playing as hot as those shoes are. And he's constantly coaching his guys up, leading the squad. 12 seconds remain, 66-61 here. A lot of things can happen. 12 seconds. It's a long time. Inside the 10-second mark. Clock steadily winds. 4 seconds left. 63-67. 4-point game here, Bryce. 4 seconds. Do they have a crime?
They're running out of time, and you know that when the clock was about 1:15, their strategy was probably to try to get some steals, but in the process, Norcross let about 30 to 40 seconds off that clock, where they might look back and they say, we could have used that precious time. So with only 4 seconds left, it's going to be tough for them to get a W here.
It's Norcross. Evans. 4 seconds. 67-63. One last shot at it. The Lemon Street Classic. Norcross. Evans.
With these 2 free throws, he'll pretty much seal it. And this is a big win for Evans, for this Evans High School program. This is going to propel them to possibly win this event. This is a huge win for them, and they're a talented group. Well-coached, talented group.
And Mincy. That's a great up-and-close look at Mincy, who has certainly showed up and showed out, to say the least, for this Evans offense. 2 seconds remain on the clock, and that pretty much does it. It's a wrap, folks. 69-63, Evans, Norcross. The Lemon Street Classic. Maury Bland alongside Bryce Williams. We're saying good night, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you tomorrow as we're back at it again for day 3 in the Lemon Classic inside Marietta's High School Gymnasium. This is SUB TV.